So here's a kind of ridiculous situation that happened to me recently. I was practicing on my G&L Tribute Kiloton Fretless bass in preparation for a new recording project, and I noticed that the string tree on the headstock was a bit wonky. I figured the screw was loose, so I tightened it, but when I tightened it, I could see it was unstable. Thinking that the screw hole was just stripped, I pulled on it a bit, and the tree popped right off. And then I realized the screw didn't rip out of the hole. The screw had broken in half. It wasn't that the head sheared off, which I've seen before if a screw's over-tightened. It broke somewhere in the middle. What? How does that even happen? A few minutes earlier, I'd been marveling at how nice the G&L's tuners are. They feel so solid and turn so smoothly. They're some of the nicest tuners I've ever used. And then this happened. It's funny to me how different companies seem to cut different corners to save money on the Indonesian-made versions of their instruments. Some, like Fender, use lower-end parts like tuners, potentiometers, and bridges. Almost all brands use cheaper, locally sourced body woods, like Nyato or Asian varieties of poplar or maple. G&L, it seems, cheaps out on screws. I don't understand it. Even good screws are so cheap, I can't imagine they're dealing with enough volume to achieve significant savings from this. But for whatever reason, they're using cheap screws made from the softest metal I've ever encountered. I hope it's not lead. Good thing I didn't lick my fingers after this. Clearly the bass needs the string tree, so the D and G strings are held at the proper angle relative to the nut. And since I was going to be recording with this bass later in the day, I needed to solve the problem immediately. No worries, I thought. I still have the string tree, and I have a ton of spare screws. I'll just use the pliers to carefully remove the remnants of the old screw protruding from the hole and put in a new one. Yeah, well, some worries.
Some worries, man. Some worries.
I mean, think about it. If the metal of the screw is soft enough to just break in half, then it's also soft enough to shred under the pressure of pliers rather than unscrew out of the hole. Eventually I gave up on actually removing the screw at all. I just wanted to wear it down to as small of a nub as possible. Then I would drill a new hole a small distance closer to the nut and reattach the string tree there. What's perhaps most ironic about all of this is that the screw I ended up using was one I actually salvaged from the string tree of the glary G-Jazz bass neck I removed in my last video. The glary bass was less than 1/10 of the cost of the G&L bass, but it seemed to use better screws. Anyway, moving the string tree 1/8 of an inch closer to the nut didn't seem to have any negative impact, and luckily, without even measuring, I moved it just enough for the shaft of the string tree to clear the remnants of the old screw. Aside from screws, the other real cost-cutting choice G&L makes with these instruments is to leave the back of the neck unfinished, rather than giving it a coat of satin polyurethane, like what's on Fender's Mexican-made instruments, for instance. I strongly prefer a satin finish, but I do like some kind of finish. The raw wood just makes it feel cheap and, well, unfinished, if you know what I mean. Still, I'm really happy with this bass. It plays and sounds great, and is likely to remain as my permanent fretless, since that's an instrument I want to have at my disposal, but I'm unlikely ever to focus on as my primary bass. As always, if you enjoy the nonsense I do here, cheers, and please like and subscribe. Also, check out my Patreon and Bandcamp. Thanks for watching. It's just coffee, by the way. It's only 9:15 in the morning.